Yo, what's up, guys? It is me, the King Dreamer LB, also known as Lockie B, the Commonwealth Champion, and this is the very best A-Shack and the Preacher,
Hello.
Ryan Tate. How are you all?
Doing well.
Oh, and by the way,
Midnight.
Real well.
this is
Doing real well.
Talking Wrestling, both the channel and the podcast.
Fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
Talking wrestling.
Homage to Vince McMahon, wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah.
How he used to say it. Well, he probably still says wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a carny at heart. He'll never not be.
Yeah. Yeah, so this podcast, I think we're gonna try and do weekly or fortnightly. See what
Yeah.
like we'll mix
Alright.
and trial and see what works best. And I guess this is the start of our joint channel, which
First video,
yeah, our first video.
podcast.
And the channel's not going to be just podcasts. We're going to have lots of different content on there. Top 10s, in-depth analysis of different groups, factions, wrestling companies, fantasy booking, all sorts of things.
Dual wrestling.
All wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Don't
exactly right.
fool it with wrestling. This is wrestling.
Yeah, this is right.
Don't talk about wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking wrestling.
Talking wrestling.
So,
The future is bright. It's very exciting.
yes.
Did we want to go through like each of us and talk about what we're going to do individually, or did you want to talk about that later on?
Maybe talk about that later on, or surprise them. Maybe we can introduce ourselves. Mr. A-Shacky, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I am a YouTuber, kinda. I do YouTube on a channel called Suplex Network, which, if you come here from there, then hello, how are you? Good, thanks. Yourself? But yeah, I do stop motion, all that. I wrestle for MXW in the Backyard Wrestling. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just here to talk wrestling.
Mr. Tate.
Well, I'm Ryan Tate. I am a former professional backyard wrestler.
Professional
former-
backyard.
Yeah, keeping the business alive the way I used to do it. I was the inaugural Wrestle House champion, and I'm a former Wrestle House tag team champion. I'm now currently a full-time editor and website designer, I suppose. And I'm just here to talk some wrestling with the boys.
Yeah, nice. And
What about you, Latchy?
yeah, I am Dominic Dajakovic's friend, Lachy B. Yeah, I am, I guess, a Twitch streamer, YouTuber. Got a channel, the King Dreamer LB, on Twitch. I'm King Dreamer LB, and I just started a second channel called King Dreamer Gaming, which I think my editor is right there, pointing up because he's above me.
Assume that's not me.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm getting signed up.
And yeah, I am a backyard wrestler on the MXW brand with A-Shack. And yeah, there's not much else to. I'm pretty ordinary, pretty. Just here to talk some wrestling with the boys.
We're in the same
But don't
boat.
worry, you two are both extraordinary beings. Don't sell yourselves too short.
Oh, you are too, right?
Oh, shucks.
So I guess
So,
we should talk some wrestling.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
So let's.
Don't know, swear.
I guess
Oh lord.
recently, it's been quite a hectic week for. We'll talk about WWE first. They had SummerSlam and Takeover over the weekend. I guess maybe we'll talk about Takeover. That went first. So,
I thought everyone has seen Takeover, correct?
I have not.
Okay.
What have you seen? And you've seen it?
I've seen the world title
match.
Keith Lee, Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
I think that was the only match I watched.
Yeah, alright. And what about you, Tate?
Fair enough. I watched the whole event from start to finish. Did we want to go match by match and then maybe we take turns with it just so it's not the lag between Enzo and back?
Yeah.
All right. What did you want to do the first one?
What was the card?
The card was the North American title match. And
that's right, the ladder match.
Yeah, we had Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. We had the
Dakota Kai, Yo Shirai,
and Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. I feel like I'm missing something.
Ripper.
I don't.
No, you got through them. On the pre-show, we had the
tag match.
With the triple threat tag match where they took the win, which was good to see.
Are they still the fashion police, or are they?
No, they're still the fashion police, which is good.
So, I didn't see the kickoff then. I didn't realize they had a kickoff for it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was meant to be on the main card. The Breezango versus Oney Lorcan and I was going to call him Biff Music, but he's not Biff Music. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Yeah.
And then they were also versing
the Imperium.
Imperium, yeah.
No, it wasn't Imperium. It was
They were the champs, weren't they?
El Legado del Fantasma.
Right. Yeah.
The Joaquin Wild and the other one. Oh shit, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the little henchman.
Yeah. Raul Mendoza. Got it. So it's Raul Mendoza, Joaquin Wild versus Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, and Breezango. Breezango came out the winner. There was the ending sequence was a bit of a scuffle, and then half of the teams got thrown out, and then Fandango picked up the win for his team, and then we moved into the main card.
Nice. And
wasn't much to it.
I believe, if I remember correctly, the opening match was Finn Balor. Yeah, and
who did he take on?
I always forget the guy's name.
He's that's Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah.
Timothy Thatcher.
And I thought it was quite a decent match. The ending to me was a bit anticlimactic. The ending didn't, in my opinion, didn't really sum up what a great match it was. Both men showing some technical ability. A lot of words, Lockie B. Submissions. A lot of submissions were in place. I thought it was one of Finn's best matches since coming back to NXT, which is a big goal.
Very big.
Fair though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the match, so I can't
comment. Yeah.
Talk about that.
You're up next, Mr. Tate. What was after that? The ladder match, wasn't it?
Yes, so next up was the North American ladder match, which featured the Archer of Infamy, Damien Priest, our boy Bronson Reed from Australia. Go Bronson. Happy birthday, big man. It also featured Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano.
Gargano.
Love you, Johnny. He had a rough night. Oh, he had a rough night.
He had a rough week.
Yeah, that stuff with
Yeah,
Ridge
um,
on NXT was scary.
And on his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. And then the fifth participant was
The cowboy guy, the Texan.
oh yeah. He's called Triple Lee on the Indies. I can't remember his.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? Yeah.
I low key wanted him to win.
Cameron Grimes. Got it.
Yes.
Oh,
Cameron
I can't
Grimes.
stand his gimmick.
When he was about
Which is
to,
probably the idea of it. But...
when he was about to win, I was like jumping for joy. I was like, anyone but Velveteen. And then he pushed Velveteen off. He fucked up Velveteen so much. And it was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the start of the match, like, it went off like beautifully. Cameron Grimes was the last one to enter the ring. He pushed Damian Priest, and Priest is like, wanker, and then just clocked him immediately. And that's how the match started. Everyone got thrown out, and then it was Damian in the ring alone with Bronson, and those two were like having a little feud throughout the match. And they really made both men look incredible. Bronson was made to be like the one the match was sort of centered around. He was the one doing most of the gimmicky stuff. He had a lot more screen time than I say most of them, like even more than Gargano, which was surprising.
Yeah. Do you think
Incredible
Gargano
match.
might be on his way up to the main roster?
I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
No.
I think
I don't know.
he'll end his career in NXT, I reckon. They're starting to treat NXT like a third brand instead of just the developmental. With Finn Balor going down, I think they're just going to treat it like a third brand. And hopefully it doesn't go down the same route as the ECW did.
I don't
when
think it will.
That was on its last leg.
I think Triple H will make sure it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But there is something really important to think about, like with what Ash was saying, like you don't want it to become like WWE ECW.
Yeah.
Because that died a slow death, and that'd be terrible to see NXT go that way.
Yeah.
And
I think
there's some
roster's so stacked. I don't think they're going to worry about that. Like, had the WWE ECW's version, I think that just drained all the good stars out of there, and it just became not watchable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good show, but yeah, it just didn't have the star power towards the end.
Yeah, Christian was a big attraction, and Christian's never really got over.
Which is unfortunate because he was so great. Like,
oh, he was great as ECW champion. Loved him. So good.
I did enjoy ECW back then.
see,
I was a big fan of that title run. Everyone hated it, but I loved it.
I got back into
Silver.
I started getting back into wrestling as it was dying. So I missed out on a lot of the good stuff.
2009.
Yeah. So are we still on the ladder match or after the ladder match?
Oh yeah, I'll quickly wrap that one up. That's all right.
I think
that's all right. We'll get used to it eventually.
Expect a lot of us getting sidetracked, viewers.
Yeah, we just love talking about wrestling.
Yeah,
it's wrestling.
Yeah, it's wrestling. But yeah, so the match was sort of, it seemed like it was setting up for Bronson to be the one to win it, but they took Bronson out, and then he wasn't getting back up. So then it was left between Cameron Grimes and Damian Priest, who popped up behind him and then clocked him. And then Was it Grimes? Yeah, he got knocked down, and then I'm pretty sure the ending sequence was both men were holding the belt on both sides,
Yeah.
and then the other one lost their thing and then let go, and then Priest was the one holding it at the end.
Got clobbered
I
on
think
the
it was
head.
Grimes, but it might have been Gargano. I don't know if it was Gargano.
I think it was Grimes.
But yeah, I think it was Grimes as well. But yeah, so Damien Priest was the one who ended up with the belt. He won the match, and everyone was like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah. No one was
Damien Priest.
angry. No one was super pleased.
That's exactly it. Yeah. It was lukewarm. No one was angry. No one was happy, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone.
He needed the win though. He couldn't lose again.
Everyone was happy that Velveteen lost. Like everyone was happy in that regard. I think. But I think apart from that, like, it felt like a match where people wouldn't have cared who won it, so long as Dream didn't.
Yeah, like it was full of like really good wrestlers and stuff. So I think it
They're all
was one of those lucky times. Yeah, like what you were saying, Ash. Didn't matter who won. It was good either way, apart from Dream.
Yeah. After that, we had the women's title match. And that was Dakota Kai versus Yo Shirai. Which, if I remember correctly, Yo Shirai won. I can't remember the finishing sequence. This match I half saw because I had a bit of other stuff I was sorting out at the time. But what I remember of it was a great match. I thought the two women in the ring, they told a story brilliantly. After the match, there was a post-match beatdown of Yo Shirai, and then Rhea Ripley came to her aid. And Rhea looked like a badass. She's got the new dyed hair. And I honestly can't wait for her to win the title back. The match was solid. It wasn't the greatest match, but yeah, it was solid.
Yeah,
I think it didn't have the build to it that it should have had.
Yeah,
I think it just was thrown together quite spontaneously.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree with you there, and like that's why I say the women told a story well. With that circumstance.
Yeah, absolutely. They did what they could, you know. Dakota eventually she'll be a mega star. Like she's already getting there now. Like the heel turn did wonders for her, and the new look, the new aesthetic, and having Raquel with her is a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Next up was the long-awaited, like, years in a build that we didn't even know was happening. But it was Adam Cole finally getting his hands on that weasel Pat McAfee. And Pat McAfee is so good on the mic. Like, he's always been good on the mic.
Yeah.
And the war of words between them leading up to them having their match was incredible. And
before we get into the match, did you think for any second that on his like little talk show, did you think that was a shoot, or did you think, no, I'm not buying this?
I thought it was a shoot at first. I'll be real.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he's swearing. I'm like, they won't let him do this.
Yeah, I'm sort of.
That's the.
I don't know.
That's the direction.
I think I lean.
Oh, sorry. That's the direction WWE is sort of going for now. They're being more edgy. Something people have noticed now, it's no longer PG-13. It's now PG-14. So you're going to get more swearing, you're going to get more edginess. like we might get like ruthless aggression sort of era stuff back. Not Attitude Era, because there's sort of teased Attitude Era and people didn't go for it with the Bobby Lashley story.
I think not in this day and age, 2020, with all there's Karens galore out there.
Yeah.
I don't think they can put stuff out like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. Like the Rusev Bobby Lashley story, that was stuff like that was Attitude Era all the time, and people wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, I think the issue is they're taking the wrong lessons from the Attitude Era. Like people want those badass characters, funny moments. They don't really want the sex scandals and the
stories,
that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
people's tastes have evolved.
And but that's what I'm hoping they have, like a ruthless aggression sort of thing. And I think McAfee and Adam Cole really showed that it could work.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like they showed in the build up for like just before the match, the war of words that have been going on for a couple years. Do you think this was always the plan?
What do you reckon, Ash?
I probably don't think I thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah.
Them doing that.
Yeah, I don't think they would have planned it like back in the day, like when they first had their interactions, which I think was when Adam Cole. He had the tag title on him. That was like their first interaction.
Yeah.
And he was very annoyed. So that seemed like that was just a one-off. It was just Adam being pissed off at Pat in that instance. And then I think maybe someone approached him and went, hey, that was pretty good. Maybe next time do the same thing. Make Pat the guy you don't like Kane with Pete Rose. They always just don't get along, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe around last year's SummerSlam, when I think it was SummerSlam or it was Extreme Rules or something, but it was the one where he just went, shut up, Pat, that one. I think at that point they were like, we'll see how Pat does in the ring, and if something happens, maybe we'll get used to do something. I think at that point then they were thinking forward to a planned feud, but
because I think
you never know.
Some of it could have been seen as Adam Cole being that angry heel.
Yeah, definitely.
But something on the match that came out afterwards, Adam Cole and Pat McAfee had 0 rehearsal time. They were doing, like, they might have got to talk about a couple of spots beforehand, but everything was on the fly. So
that's strange.
Yeah, I thought it was strange as well. But, and mind you, it was Meltzer who reported that. But if true, big well done to McAfee. Because it takes a true...
Yeah,
it takes a true pro to put on a match like that on the fly.
Yeah, that was... I was watching it socially distanced with a friend of mine. We were watching it on the stream, and as soon as they started doing like the headlocks and stuff, I'm like, all right, so they're working the pace of a basic like rehearsal match, and I thought that was interesting. But you'd expect them to do that, and then Pat jumped to the top rope and did a backflip, and then did a suplex. I'm like, well. All right, we'll just...
Yeah.
All right.
And that massive spot near the end...
Yeah, he impressed a lot of people that night.
Yeah. I want to see more of him in the ring. But I actually... they actually mentioned it in the pay-per-view that he's good friends with Baron Corbin. And they used to be housemates.
Yeah, Corbin seems to know a lot of people.
He'll-
He knows the guy
yeah,
from. He knows Corey from
career.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after...
I don't
sorry.
think he should. I don't think Pat should have another match. To be honest, I think it would water down his match with Seth and make it Seth
Adam.
Adam Cole. I mean, same
Yeah.
person. I think it'll just make that not as special. Like
Yeah, that's fair enough.
when you have some outside character come in for multiple appearances, I think it'll just water it down. Personally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, that's fair enough.
I'm on your side with that. I don't think Pat should wrestle again. I think his story, in its accidental beauty,
Yeah.
is a perfect come in go sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you reckon he'll continue to work programs WWE like kickoffs and?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think he will. I think his reaction after Takeover, I think he's won a lot of people over that WWE will notice that and they'll bring him in to try and get the clicks, get the views.
Yeah.
He does have a massive podcast, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's made
pretty big,
AFL
bringing
big
in-
over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like with him loving the Collingwood Magpies and stuff like that, wearing the jersey all the time. Classic Pat.
Yeah. So after Adam Cole and Pat McAfee, that was the world title match, wasn't it? The NXT
Main event.
Main event.
Main event.
Keith Lee. I enjoyed the match, but
It was
in the same
It's
time,
good, but I think they could have done,
yeah, exactly.
because they're both two talented guys. I think they could have done a lot more.
Well, yeah,
It was like Keith Lee's like send off for NXT.
I thought they were.
I was a bit
holding
let
back.
down.
Sorry, yeah, I thought they were holding back a bit, and maybe that is because Keith was going to Raw. But yeah, to me, like again, it was an alright match. It told a story, but the little things weren't there. And yeah, it.
Yeah, like I agree with you two that there was something missing in that match, and I don't know. It seemed like Killer Cross on the Indies doesn't do long matches. He never really has. His appeal is a lot like, not to the level of Lesnar, but he runs through people,
Yeah.
and he's really good and like technical during it, but he doesn't go longer than 10, 15.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's got that in him to keep people invested. And
Yeah,
people online have been kind of sort of like, Cross as champ, okay, that's fine. People are a little down on him. I think he's good. Like it's good to have a break from a crazy charismatic champion like Adam to a crazy charismatic champion like Keith. And now we get psycho heel who run through you. We
Yeah.
haven't had that since maybe
Joe.
Joe. Yeah, Joe or Kev, but Kev didn't hold it very long.
Yeah, Kev.
But he
No.
was Joe, so
Kev got it, and then he went to the main roster.
yeah. Yeah.
speaking of not long, what about Keith Lee's reign as champion? He only just won it, which feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I would have liked him to hold it a little bit longer, but like even if it was just a couple of weeks longer, because it just feels so weird after Adam holding it for well over a year to like a really short reign, and but it needs that like middle ground to like another really long reign, but not a short reign.
Yeah, here.
I see it as like Keith Lee was just like a transitioning champion to get the belt from Cole to kill a Karrion Kross without weakening Cole, I think, and it like kind of gives some sort of legitimacy to Keith Lee before he's brought up to the main roster to Raw to give people a reason to think he's possible of beating the likes of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns and guys like that.
Yeah.
It's just a little check mark on his resume before he goes on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's not forget he's the first guy in NXT to hold North America 2 singles titles in NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gutted when he relinquished it a week later. I was like, hold it for a month at least.
Yeah.
Jeez. Like, Seth is a less, like, threatening guy, and he held that magnificent, that sexy, beautiful United States Championship when he was WWE Champion. Like, he did that for, like, a month or two as world, and he was defending it as well. Come on, Keith, pull your damn weight.
You mentioned Roman Reigns. So I guess, do we want to talk about SummerSlam?
Yeah, we can probably run through it real quick.
Nice little segue there for you.
Very nice.
So that card we had Asuka Bailey, Asuka Sasha.
Yep.
We had Dominic Mysterio versus Seth.
Yep.
Street Profits. Yep.
Yep.
We had Drew and Randall.
Yeah.
And the Fiend.
Braun and Fiend.
Yeah.
Oh, kickoff. Hang on. I know that.
Apollo.
Oh, yes.
Yep, that's right.
Apollo and Montel.
The title that has a wang on it.
First champ he got. He threw my belt away. First chance he got. Come on now. It's gone.
I think the card was pretty lackluster. I think it missed AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy should have been at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Putting it the week before or the week of.
Yeah.
I think that was a bit silly of them.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much for the whole card that really intrigued me.
Especially when they had Asuka pulling double duty. AJ and Jeff could have been on the card.
Yep. It was a great match as well. Him and AJ.
Yeah.
Would have fit so perfectly.
And it would have added something extra to that card.
Like if that was on the card, that would have been probably the match I looked forward to the most out of all of them.
Yeah. So, do we want to run through the matches, or do we just want to talk about our highlights?
I think just the highlights, because no point talking about Apollo Crews for 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah. So,
no offense to Apollo Crews.
Dominic Mysterio.
Exactly right.
What do you think of his debut?
I thought that was an awesome match, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought so too.
Yeah, incredible attire from Seth. Oh,
yeah,
both of them had
that
great.
Halloween.
So good.
I cannot wait for them to make a figure of that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to put it up for a vote and fucking idiots to vote.
God.
Where's my Thanos attire? I'm so mad.
I enjoyed the little things in that match. Like AJ Styles, he says like the things that make a great match are the little things, the little storytelling, and Seth did that perfectly, and Dominic did that. Even Dominic did that perfectly when you could just tell it. You could see him going to Ray. No, don't come in. And them little things really made that match. His mum coming out as well. That added to the story nicely, I thought.
Yeah, it made it a lot more personal.
Yeah.
The match they put on told the story that they've been building up for the last however many months perfectly. I think they couldn't have probably done it any better than they did.
And what did you think of the result? Did you think Seth should have won, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Dom didn't need that win.
I thought so too.
No, it would have just buried Seth.
Like, a lot of people know I'm a big Seth fan, so I was happy Seth won. But it was, I thought it was good that Dominic didn't win, because it leads up to more of a feud for them if they want to go down that route.
Yeah, definitely. I would love
the
to
whole...
see. Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, it's like the whole rookie storyline. He can just progressively get better. Like, nobody expects him to go out and win against Seth Rollins' first match.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping.
Oh,
sorry, mate. I was hoping that it would lead to a tag match at Payback. The Mysterios versus Seth and Buddy.
Throw it away. WWE. God, I love it.
Yeah.
We'll quickly touch on the women's title matches. So first up was Asuka and Bayley.
Yeah.
And I thought Bayley was gonna lose it because she was going first, but then she beat Asuka. I was like, oh, so Asuka's gonna take the Raw Women's title from Sasha, and she beat Sasha so quickly. I was like, oh Lord, they just want to keep giving this girl some title reigns.
So you can see the headlines already. Sasha Banks sitting outside her hotel room.
Ultimately,
Bayley's not happy about it.
Yeah. Surely it's going to lead to the Sasha Bayley split up, because Sasha helped Bayley get the dub. Bayley didn't really
do much.
Help Sasha, so it's sort of planting the seeds for a breakup. They've been going on for quite a while now. I thought they were going to break it up like WrestleMania, but
I thought that too.
They've dragged it on a fair bit.
Take the women's titles off them. That Asuka beating just about to beat Bayley, and then beating Sasha. Bury is the women's tag titles, in my opinion, because you got the two champions. And they've both, one of them did get beat, and one almost got beat by the same woman in the same night.
Yeah,
I think they should just drop the tag titles altogether. To be honest, they don't have the time and women's roster to do it.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be what they're going to do at Payback. It seems like they're going to drop it to Nia and Shayna.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Shayna should have won the Rumble.
Together. I forgot who won the Rumble. Who won the Rumble this year?
Charlotte, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, challenge Rhea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who'd she? And she.
What is she?
What did she even do? Did she go for the Raw?
She challenged
Rhea.
Rhea.
To beat Rhea.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry.
Which I think that was
beat her.
a good save.
She embarrassed Rhea.
I think it was a good save that she won the Rumble, and then to be a twist that she goes for the NXT Women's. I thought that was like a good way of saving it, but she shouldn't have
She shouldn't have
beaten
won it.
her, though. I don't think it should have been the push for not just Rhea, but the whole like NXT brand, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
to show they could, like push it with the main roster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Decisions. Don't know why they do it.
The main event. Oh, did we want to talk about Randy and Drew, or just go to the main event?
Well,
That was
we
a
forgot
good
the tag. We forgot the Raw tag title match.
That was
shit.
that was a match. It
Yeah,
happened.
that was a nothing match. Street Profits
Yeah.
won, if you were wondering.
I didn't mind Randy and Drew. It got a lot of backlash.
Did it?
Yeah.
I missed that. What happened?
Oh, it was... Neither men hit their finisher. It ended up with a Drew roll-up.
Mhm.
But I thought it was a great... I thought both men... Again, they did the little things right. They told a great story. And for a match not a lot of people had high expectations in, they really delivered. I thought...
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I
I
thought...
thought it was one of Drew's best matches.
Yeah. And I thought the fact that they didn't hit their finisher made it better.
Hmm.
But,
Yeah, it goes back to the old the territories. You know, you got to protect your finisher.
yeah.
You got to protect your finish.
And,
Bit weird they're doing it now, but
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
good that they brought that back.
something we do in MXW. Protect your finishes.
Yeah, Wrestle House didn't do that.
And then the main event, that was... I don't know how I feel about it. Like, on one hand, I thought they told a great story, but I don't think it was either men's best match.
I think they were telling a great story up until the match. I think the match just happened and it was just a fucking... I don't think they knew what they were doing, really.
Yeah.
The only highlight of it was the finish, how he ripped up the foam ring, like the foam off the ring, and
Yeah.
they slammed him on it, and then we all know what happened next.
Two Sister Abigails. And then the big
And
dog.
the big dog.
The big dog is
Big
back.
Oh, jeez, I can't. Oh, his teeth, they're so bloody bright.
Get them sunglasses. Yeah, them sunglasses back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's a
I'm
heel?
blind enough already, but
Like he's obviously
Hopefully.
he's getting booed anyway. Do you reckon they're finally doing it and turning him heel?
Ash, you go first.
I
Tell me what you reckon.
I want them to, but I didn't think Vince would ever do it because he just sells too much merch for all the little kiddies. But I think he'd play a much better heel. Like, nobody really likes him over the age of 12, so... And they're pretty much their peak audience at the moment is the older demographic, so they shouldn't be...
Selling.
What are you doing? Yeah, and
Yeah.
he needs to drop that vest, the little tactical vest. That needs to go.
I think he has.
When he come out in just a shirt, I'm like, this dude looks fucking badass.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
see, that's what they did for Cena once. Like, they turned him heel, and that got him more over. So I reckon that's what they're doing now, finally doing with Roman.
Yeah. I think I'm on the opposite side, boys. I think I'm on the opposite side.
How do we kick
I
him
have-
out?
I have wanted him to be heel for years, but when it all got revealed that he had leukemia, a lot of people were like, yeah, you're actually all right. We're sorry. We actually like you, Joe. Sorry. And then when he came back after it and he was like, it's all good, and they did the Shield thing, the boos were less. He only started getting booed again when he just walked out and went, I'm gonna take that blue belt off you, Goldberg. I'm gonna bloody hit you like that. I'm gonna hit you like that. I'm gonna take that. That blue is gonna be mine. I'm gonna take that. And everyone was like, oh, piss off. Like, he started getting booed then. Like, everyone else before that was loving him. And when he came back, I'm like, yeah, Roman's back. Roman. And then he started hitting Braun. I'm like, oh, shit, no. Oh, no. It's not the time. Roman, it's not the time. But, look, if they do it, I don't care. I don't care. It'll be good regardless. I'm just glad to see him back.
Yeah. Alright, we'll take a quick little short break, and then we'll be back. Alright, we are back. So the first half of the podcast we were talking about Takeover and SummerSlam, and our thoughts on the matches on that card. So I think something that's been a prominent storyline in WWE of late has been Retribution and everything that's going on with them. So, what do you guys think of this group so far? Where do you want to see it go, I guess?
When they first showed up, you can if you like.
Are you sure? Oh, you sure?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Okay. I'm worried I'm going to say the same thing as you now. I think when I'm gonna say the exact same thing you just said. When they first showed up, it was unusual. It was, no one really was commenting on it like beforehand. No one was like, oh, this crazy balaclava group is gonna appear. Like, there was rumors of a faction coming, but no one knew that it was going to be like balaclava, everybody running around smashing, stuff. I think what they did this past week, where it seems that they've shortened the roster down on who is in the actual group. There's like 5 of them. There's like 2 girls and 3 guys. Yeah. If they make it smaller to like that, you could make stars with that amount of people. But the 30 or something people they had when they first got there, you're like, if you reveal everyone there, you either do the storyline and get rid of them at the end, or you keep a few and then they become stars. But then the whole point of the Retribution thing would have been all of them want Retribution, and once that's done, what do they do? If all of them then left and a couple of them stayed, then you'd be like, well, you weren't important to the story. You were just part of the whole hive thing. Like, you weren't individuals. Whereas if they do the 5 thing that they're doing at the moment, that's 5 individual people you can build off.
Yeah,
I think Carmella's one of them, because I heard her voice on SmackDown. Dio Madden looks like he's part of it.
My friend Dominic Dajakovic, he's one that's been rumored.
Yes,
because he got his main roster call up, and then for some reason he was back down the next week, and then our good friend ELP, he said to me that I should ask Dominic if he's part of the group.
Yeah, I just sent a photo in the group chat. Don't know if you've seen it, but it was someone's put on Instagram who who's rumored to be in the group, and there's Chelsea Green, Dio Madden, Dominic Dajakovic, Shane Thorne, the Australian, Mia Yim and Caden Carter. If Latchy, you want to put that on the screen when you're editing this.
Yeah.
I think that is correct. They've all been rumoured to be in the group for a while.
Yeah, Dominic
Judging from the
accidentally
photo.
leaked something on Twitter. Well, they said it was an accident because he deleted it straight away. If he is part of it, then that wouldn't surprise me. I think it would be a good fit for him. Shane Thorne, I don't know because he's part of that group with the Forgotten Sons.
On.
Yeah, wasn't he the Forgotten Sons?
Leslie Blake, some guy that apparently is a white supremacist.
Oh right, yeah, that's
Jackson Riker.
That's his name.
Yeah.
We let us say his name.
Jackson.
Should we bleep that?
Yeah, Benoit.
Who
made an appearance, by the way? We should have mentioned that. He made an appearance on Raw. Did anyone see Benoit?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And
he made an appearance. Oh, so good.
One of the other things we'll talk about later was her appearance in SummerSlam. Chelsea Green, I don't know because didn't she have that thing with she had that manager or
the Robert Stone brand.
Yeah,
I like that actually. I think I don't want to see her in it to be honest because I like the whole Robert Stone gimmick going on.
Yeah, I really like that story as well.
Mia Yim makes sense to me. They're Madden, yeah. Look, I'd like to see Shane Thorne in there because then there's more Australians on the main roster.
Yeah.
Getting more screen time.
Yeah.
Caden Carter, I don't much have an opinion.
Yeah, I don't know him to be honest.
She's good, but it's like she doesn't have a character yet.
The person that that the guys marked as Shane Thorne, I saw another thing. Actually, ELP tagged me in it on Facebook, and if I can find it, I'll put up the picture. But the way he was acting, that the said person was acting in these mannerisms, was sort of like the Miz. And
I saw that, but I didn't see the Miz in that.
The reason I sort of thought that it could be true. So, not the SmackDown just been, but the SmackDown before, when I guess we'll wait for Ash to get back.
Oh. Yep.
Yo, Ash, you there?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so the not the SmackDown just been, but the SmackDown before. He didn't go out there to help when his own partner was getting attacked by them. And then the SmackDown just been, they made a point of showing Miz coming to the aid late. Like when the whole roster came out to attack Retribution, they made a point of showing him coming down to the ring late.
Yeah. I don't think WWE is smart enough to do little bits like that. I think that was just a coincidence, and people on the internet are smarter than WWE, so they're overthinking it.
Yeah.
So I personally don't think Miz will be in it.
I will say one thing to creative. They did do one storyline that was very... I mean, it was predictable what the end result was, but when they were giving you clues of who it was, the Enzo and Cass storyline, you know how Enzo was like attacked and people were like, oh, who is it?
Yeah.
And everyone knew it was going to be Cass, but there was one bit where Corey had said on commentary, just out of the blue, not in any Enzo Cass related thing, he was just saying, I'd shake the hand of the man that attacked Enzo. And then later in the show, Cass came out and started saying, like, talking shit to him. and like, how dare you say that I'm the one doing it and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. And he went, hey, and shook his hand, and everyone was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's they have those rare instances where you're like, that's good.
Speaking of creative and booking, while we're on the subject, Shane McMahon rumored to be getting the top Raw creative job. Thoughts on that?
I don't see it happening, to be honest.
Well,
I think he doesn't have the time.
he's the reason we've got Raw Underground.
Which Raw Underground, I don't enjoy it. I think it's just, I think they're either going to have a big payoff to build up to something, or they'll just forget about it in 3 weeks. Which, knowing WWE, they're going to forget about it in 3 weeks. Just like the hacker. Do they still do that? Was that tied into Retribution?
I thought it was going to be tied into Retribution.
That had legs. They just blew that.
Yeah. Well, that was meant to be Mustafa, and then he just got sent to Raw.
Yeah. So I thought that might have ties to Retribution, but unfortunately.
Oh well, who knows? Maybe they'll repurpose it for Retribution.
Yeah. Like they even gave it its own Twitter as well.
Was that fan made, or was that like legit?
No, that was legit. There was.
I know it was verified with the blue tick, but
it was an old WWE account that they repurposed. So we sort of on the topic of Retribution. Not quite WWE's Retribution, but MXW, our brand that Ace and I are in. We've got our pay-per-view this Saturday in Australia. Friday if
Sunday.
you're in the
It's Sunday now.
Oh, Sunday if you're in Australia. Saturday if you're in the UK, America. MXW presents Retribution. I think
Also, we made that name. We've thought of that name before.
Yeah.
WWE got near it.
You know what really?
If I seen one of those comments,
I've seen the. So, we've got these masked guys that have been attacking everyone. I still don't know. I still don't know who they are. Do you?
Kayfabe.
Yeah, kayfabe.
Do I?
Yeah.
Nah, but God, one of them does a good old twist of fate.
It's not.
I think it might have been Matt Hardy.
I reckon it's. Do you know what? I've heard Matt Hardy hasn't signed a proper. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think Matt hasn't signed a proper AEW thing. I reckon those flights over to Australia. I think he's eaten too much, and he's going. I'm going to put everything into that twist of fate. Yeah, that's right. Like I've been watching your stuff since he's joined back onto YouTube, like this iteration of MXW. Because I'd talk to you guys on the backyard forums, and that's how you and me, we all started talking and stuff, and I've been following it from the start. And when I saw the twist of fate, I was a little like thrown off. I'm like, I'm having flashbacks. That's not good. I don't like that. But yeah, I hope you figure out who these dickheads are. Have they signed like contracts or anything? Like, has there been any word from management?
Apparently, Daniel Matthews signed 3 new people, and then he was looking at 2 others.
Oh, okay. Has he told you who
No.
he was thinking of? Because maybe that's them.
Switchblade.
Yep. So let's talk.
XCW.
So let's talk about this card. We've got myself, Lucky V, defending this glorious title in a TLC match against Fallen Angel. We have Switchblade versus Demolition Man. Demolition Man, is he even going to show up? He hasn't showed up the last few weeks.
In a month.
Yeah,
He
it's
hasn't showed up in a month.
since he lost the title. We've got a gauntlet match, which apparently Switchblade's going to be in. And we have...
Oh, Lord.
And I'm gonna be.
Yeah, and we've got a world title match. The undisputed title match. The Executioner and Collector. So,
I'm excited to see that match.
as the outsider looking in, and bear in mind, be completely neutral. Who have you got in the TLC match?
TLC match. Now that's between you and Fallen Angel, correct? Yep. Right. Well, look. I know that I'm on the podcast with you right now, and I don't want you to think that I'm voting against you. It's because I'm not, baby. You've got this. You are going to win. You're the best Commonwealth champion there's ever been. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But you are so good, man. You've got this in the bag. You've got this. You got this, man. You've got this. Yeah. Lucky B, baby.
What about you, Ace? Do you reckon?
And then the gauntlet match. Oh, sorry, you guys, alright?
So, what about you? What do you reckon, Ace? You reckon I can back up my words?
Yeah, I don't see Fallen Angel having the mind capacity to work out how to climb up a ladder. So I just think that alone has it in the bag for Lachy B.
Don't want to judge Kovic's best man.
Before we move on from this subject, this ladder, the TLC match, sorry, I should say. Yeah. When I picture Fallen Angel climbing the ladder, I picture that scene in Family Guy where Peter forgets how to sit down and then he just launches himself at the couch. That's what I picture for Fallen Angel trying to climb the
ladder. So we've got obviously the gauntlet match, which A-Shack versus El Tigre versus Robert Sanji versus Fishboy versus Switchblade and Demolition Man if he appears. Just looking at that match, Robber, you squashed last week. Fishboy's a pacifist. Tigre's a coward. Switchblade, he can talk, but bloody, like, my opponent, he ducked my opponent when we went to their show. I can't see Switchblade beating you. And D-Man is even on the show. I can't see
Switchblade beating Fishboy.
Yeah. I reckon you've got this in the bag, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think the very best is going to come out the winner.
Switchblade versus D-Man. Is this match even going to happen? Is D-Man going to show? I hope so, because...
Man, D-Man's going to run.
If it happens,
yeah,
Switchblade is going to lose.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
And the Undisputed Championship match. Collector versus the Executioner. Me and you both had the privilege of facing the Executioner a few weeks ago. Triple threat match.
Triple threat match.
Drop kick me into the mud. I've never been in the ring with a Collector. So my money would be on Executioner. But you've been in the ring with them both.
I think, yeah. I beat Collector at Pride.
Yeah.
And Executioner and I are both 1-1. So for my sake, after I win the gauntlet, I hope Executioner retains so we can have a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The rubber match.
Then
Finally end it all.
where do you see that? What do you reckon, Tate?
Well, look. To my knowledge, Collector's had one match, and Ace came out the winner. The Collector had all that time to prepare to beat Ace, and he couldn't get the job done. He kidnapped him, and he still couldn't get the job done.
Yeah. So,
just based off that, I don't think the Collector's even taken it seriously, to be honest.
Yeah. So
but who knows? Maybe he'll pull out a gun and just shoot the Executioner and just pin him in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do.
You gotta.
He's got a gun.
Can't post that on.
He
Can't
took a
post that
shot
on.
before on the last episode. He went and shot.
You also got to ask the question
Crazy.
as well. Will the Executioner be 100%? He got attacked by, again, those guys in the mask.
Those bastards. Those bastards. You got to make sure you talk to the GM about that. Because if those guys have been signed, then he should be telling you what the go is with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So, actually, just before that match, before they attacked the Executioner, I've had a little bit of backlash from the fans from my attack on Koyubi. A lot of people saying that. Well, actually, there's currently a poll on the MXW Instagram. I'll put a screenshot of where it sits at the moment. But most of the fans seem to think that I went too far. 58% of fans said I crossed the line.
You did abuse a child, which you can get jail time for doing that. So if I really wanted the Commonwealth Championship, I could show that footage to the police, get you arrested.
That's right. And if I wanted the Commonwealth title, I could tell on Ash for telling on you, and then I'd be Commonwealth champion.
I mean,
what?
I think the kid knows that. I'm just getting in the head of Fallen Angel. I think the kid understands that's all part of the game.
Yeah, I think the kid also understands that you got in his head, literally, with the stomp to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Let the record show though. I voted no. You didn't go too far. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Just so you know.
The OG's got my back. So, speaking of having people's back, someone who's really got no one having his back at the moment, Velveteen Dream. We alluded to it earlier. A bit of a
Yikes.
It's a bit hot in here. All right, thanks for the podcast, guys. I'll see you later.
I think I left the oven on.
so.
No, that's the sniper red dot aimed at your head. That's Triple H personally. He's going, don't you fucking say anything.
There's a bit of a debate going on whether he should still be working for WWE.
Yeah.
And we can't sit here and say yes, he did do the things he was accused of, or no, he didn't. So we're only going to briefly go over this. But what is your opinion on the situation?
Did you want me to go first, or?
I'll
Fight the bullet.
So you've got a better. So you've got a better script in your head, and you avoid the shit I say, just in case I say something bad. Look, when he debuted as Velveteen Dream,
Yeah.
I was instantly on board. I was supporting him, and when the allegations came out, I didn't jump straight to he did the wrong thing. I waited for stuff to come out, and the stuff that came out was pretty bad. These alleged things, bad, right? If he didn't do it, then I think he still needed a ton more time to stay off TV for it to be okay for him to come back, because they didn't even tell anyone what they'd found, whether he was guilty or innocent. They just sort of chucked him back on TV, and everyone was like, "Oh, are we meant to, what did you find? Are we meant to cheer him? What's the go?" So like that sort of thing. There was a lot of just terrible decision making in his return in general.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think he needed to stay away for way longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have let him go, personally, because, like you were saying, they should have kept him off TV. But when you're keeping them off TV, you're still writing them paychecks, still costing you money for, it's like paying for nothing. So
Yeah.
I think let him go, but on good terms. So when everything comes back and all the allegations are dropped and his name's clear, then offer him a spot back. Because just even if he is not guilty, he's still all the drama and baggage that he's carrying around. Probably not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
It's like the China instance. They didn't mention her for the longest time, just because of the whole porn. They didn't want someone to Google her name, and one on China XXX comes up. I think the same goes with Velveteen Dream. Guilty or not, I think they should have let him go, let the situation dissolve, it be sorted, and then if the result come back that he was not guilty, then offer him a contract if he still wants that contract. But letting go of him probably isn't a big loss. Like, he's great. He's a great athlete, great character, great gimmick. He's like the total package, but I think it's just not worth the trouble.
So
Yeah, that was well said.
I agree with you, both of you. I think they should have let him go. And part of that is the Enzo case. Once again, they still don't know if Enzo is innocent or not. That case never really got finished. But it's in the same regards. Like, it's still being investigated. Let him go.
Is
and
it?
Then, well, they ran out of funding for that case.
I thought he wrote that whole song
Yeah, he did a diss track on her.
saying like it's false.
Wait.
Yeah, that was fucking sick, by the way. Anyway,
I think, yeah. See, even that, like, he did it. Enzo's a piece of shit. He did it. Sorry. Sorry, this is like in my opinion, okay, if he's innocent, Enzo. Sorry, this is a whole different case now. If Enzo is innocent and he wrote a diss track on this woman who they've said is mentally ill, then that's a shit thing to do. And then if he's guilty, he's done a diss track on someone he did these allegations to.
I think did it within the boundaries. He didn't name drop or like dox her. He lost his job because of this bitch that's gone and pointed fingers. He said, she said, but
yeah,
he's lost his job because of this. Like, of course he's gonna be pissed. He didn't do anything wrong, I don't think. Like by doing that, the Phoenix song.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bit because he's like, and people know who she is though. Like not the casual fans, but yeah, I just thought that was a really scummy thing to do because she's either mentally ill or he's done it. But back on Velveteen, I think you're correct. They should have released him. Or as you said, keep him off TV because if he is innocent, then give him time to have that evidence brought out that he is innocent. Yeah, both situations are really tricky.
Yeah. Well, going back to the whole Enzo thing as well, like, part of the reason why he lost his job is because he knew about it for like a couple of days or a week, and he talked to his private lawyer about it and didn't notify WWE, which is what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of why he didn't get to keep his job.
Yeah, nobody backstage liked him. Like, he's getting kicked out of like tour buses and that because he's just a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, both situations are tricky, and I guess with both situations, you're never going to know the right or the wrong of it, because I think with both situations, you're never going to know the full truth. But moving on from this, we're going to finish on a happier note. And our resident very best, Ace Shack, he's got a nice segment. Do you want to explain it to us, Ace?
The good coal, bad coal.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, so, well, I was going to bring up the Velveteen in that, but we already covered that. So, good coal, bad coal is, we'll each, like, say, we bring up a topic or an opinion, and the others will say whether it was a good call or a bad call. So, for instance, I say, should WWE fire the Velveteen Dream? You could say, is it a good call or a bad call to fire him?
Yeah.
So, if you had any opinions you wanted to bring out, this is a segment to do so.
Yeah. Alright. So, I'm gonna.
I got one.
Yeah.
If
you
time
go first.
You sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine is good call, bad call. Keith Lee's theme change.
You go first, Ace.
I think bad. I'm gonna. This is probably gonna sound stupid, but I'm gonna say good call. But that's not because the theme song they've got now is better. It's just because supposedly that the band that wrote the song's like wanting $1 million for them to use the song on Raw, I think. So I think they made the right decision. It's like, it's not a $1 million song.
What, the Bask in the Glory one?
Yeah, apparently the
Oh.
band was asking for $1 million for
Shit.
Raw.
All right.
Ugh. Good.
I was
What do you reckon, Lucky?
I was gonna say bad call, but if that's the case, then good call. Yo, Mr. Tate,
I mean, they're
you,
rich
so
company.
you're frozen. Oh no, you just unfroze. You were like for a good 30 seconds.
I did not expect that to be a good call from either of you. I was like, that's an easy toss-up one. But all right, let's keep this going.
All right.
Alright, you got one, Lucky?
Yeah. Good call, bad call. WWE. What's the new game? It's Slam. WWE 2K Slam.
Battleground.
Battleground, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the whole thing?
Yeah,
like,
that's
good call, bad call.
Is it a good call or bad call? Like over 2K21.
I'm gonna do something similar to what Ace did in my good call, bad call. It's good for a reason. I think it's good to have this throwaway bullshit for this year, and then come back with the full team going, all right, we have a year to sort out Dukes being gone and what style are we going to go with, because they've 2K have just introduced golf into their now yearly thing that they're doing as well. So it's putting more pressure, and the resources are now getting thinner. So will we even get a 2K game for the WWE next year, or what? Because Virtual Basement's coming out, and that game already looks better than 2K has ever been.
I agree with that. I'm going to say good call too, because the past however many years, the game that 2K has been making has been the exact same copy-paste pretty much. So I think just putting this in there for, like you said, just a throwaway game, not really like the All-Stars game they made like a while ago. I think it's pretty much like that. I think we didn't really need a 2K20. Not much has changed. I think when they do another 2K like 21 like next year, I think they've gotta change it up, and even if they don't, I think people will still buy it just because there hasn't been one for that extra year, so it's gonna make people want. Like, you take a toy away from a baby, they're gonna want that toy, and we are those babies wanting 2K20.
Yeah.
So are you gonna comment on that one, Latchy, or
no? I think it's a good call.
do you want me to just do mine?
Yeah, I always thought that might be a 50-50 one, but no, I thought it was a good call. For the same reason you guys both said.
But mine, good call, bad call, is WWE doing the Payback pay-per-view a week after SummerSlam.
It's a bad call. That's a stupid, dumb, bad call. That is stupid.
You know what I'm going to say to that? It's a very, very greatly bad call.
Oh, you are a trickster, you are a trickster.
Yeah, I was
trying
to make a pun.
I think it's a very bad call. How are you going to build up matches
in 1 week
on one episode of Raw, one episode of SmackDown? I think it's just a throwaway paper. Nothing's going to happen.
When has Payback ever been good? Can anyone point to a year and go, oh, that year, Payback?
I couldn't name a match that's ever happened.
I can only think of one.
2014 is the only one I can think of. And that's Shield Evolution. That was a one-match pay-per-view.
I remember that match.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
I think it only makes sense because
Sheamus match was great on that card.
What was the Sheamus badge?
He had a
Just himself.
Yeah.
I think he had Rusev.
Oh, was it US title?
I believe so, yeah. Well, that might have been a little bit later, but I reckon it was a payback.
Forgot he was US champ. Oh, there's been some shit US champs. Got an idea for a video. Real good. Alright. You know what? Make a video of the worst US champs.
So,
Oh.
do we do another
Maybe that's-
round?
Could
Or...
do it.
Maybe that's
Couple
what all my
rounds.
content will be. It'll just be US title related. Make 16 videos.
10 reasons why Rusev was the savior of the US title.
10 reasons why I wake up in the morning and I put on these 5 matches. And they're all Eddie Guerrero ones.
Viva la
Nothing wrong with that.
He would have been happy with Dom's debut, I reckon. He would have been,
Of course.
he would have been ecstatic.
It's, Dominic was like before the match, I wish Eddie was here to see it.
Hmm.
Alright. I think that's really all that we had for this week's episode.
Oh, so soon.
We might have
It's definitely not nearly 2 a.m.
Yeah.
we might have episode 2 next week or the week after. I guess we'll have a discussion and see what there is to talk about.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Maybe we'll just quit YouTube.
Yeah, this has been the first episode of the
Stop
TalkingRasslin podcast. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more content coming onto the channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. I have been the King Dreamer Lucky B, and I've had Ace Shack and Ryan Tate with me. Peace.
Read your Bible.